Hey y'all, welcome to Cop Work. Um, this is my channel about the realities of being a police officer. And I just retired in May, being one about 30 years. And we're talking about patrol today. And my last two videos talking about being a reserves officer for free. And now I took a full-time job in a very small town. And I'll talk about that. It was like Mayberry. I lived there. I moved there, lived there, was a cop there. That's a different world. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows who you are, and everybody knows you. And it was just, back then, on Chief Hart, it was me and just a couple of other officers that were full-time, and then some reserves. And so, talk about today is my first call. I had just been riding with the chief, and there was no FDO program. There was nothing. I've been riding around with the chief a few shifts, and he said, "Think you can do this?" I said, "Yeah, I got it." I didn't even have a uniform. And I was working on a Sunday. I remember it because it was my first shift really by myself. I was in plain clothes, just with a pistol, and that was it. And got a call of a guy. He's on his front porch with a shotgun in his hand, waving it around, screaming. So I get there, and sure enough, he's down on his front porch, screaming, yelling, got that shotgun waving it around. And I'm like, "You put that down. Put that down. Don't point that. For God's sake, don't point that at me, because it's not going to go good for you." So he's waving his chair on the front porch, and luckily, they had another officer that came from another town, because I was the only one on, and so was he. He came to help me, and then there was a deputy, county sheriff patrol. He came too. He came to help us. And this poor guy, sitting on the front porch, got that shotgun, waving it around. Didn't point it at anybody, but he's waving it around, and he's apparently terribly intoxicated, and screaming and hollering, done like this, done like that. So I'm thinking to myself, this is supposed to be Sunday. This is supposed to be a nice, easy shift. What in the world is going on here? Well, we finally get him to put the gun down and not hurt anybody. And once he finally did that, we jumped on him, grabbed him, and hooked him up, took him to jail. He was just drunk, and he was mad at his girlfriend, and that was all he was on. He just thought he'd stand outside with a shotgun and wave it around and threaten people. But nobody got hurt. I didn't get hurt. No officers got hurt. He didn't get hurt. So, but another eye-opening experience from patrol with people waving guns around. I was like, oh, this is supposed to be Mayberry. There's not supposed to be anything happen up here. But it wasn't. But when I first got there, the first day that I was working, I saw two kids riding across the square on horseback. And I was like, I have moved to Mayberry. What have I done? But it was great. I still live there. It was great to be an officer there. I had all kinds of fun. But another story that, again, I'm working by myself, and because that's what you did there. Got a call of a guy that was having a mental breakdown and wouldn't go. He had cut his wrist and wouldn't go with the EMTs. Well, I get there and I know him because I've dealt with him before. And I tell him, I said, "Hey, you need to go with them. They need to help you." And he said, "No." And we'd walked in the kitchen, and he had a knife on the counter, and I said, "No, we need to go with the paramedics. They need to check you out." And he said, "No." He said, "Somebody's going to die today." I said, "No, nobody's dying today. I'm not dying today. You're not dying today. Nobody's dying today." And he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I'm positive. You know me. You know me. I would never lie to you." And he said, "I do know you." And I said, "Will you go with them?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll go with them." And I still see him in town. He's married and has children. Greatest thing ever. So, anyway, again, if y'all can, please contribute to the hurricane relief effort. I say it every day. They need some help. Please help them. And again, to quote Hill Street Blues, y'all be careful out there.